This just confirmed what we all feared. A fresh league note landed on my desk that draws a red circle around one flaw that can make or break the Lakers' season, and at the center of it is a very specific idea that's been buzzing for weeks. In tonight's video, I'm breaking down what that report actually means, how it touches the rotation, what the second apron rulebook really allows, and whether Los Angeles should move to solve this now or wait for the summer. Welcome to Lakers News Fan Report. I'm here to turn noise into a plan you can see. We are hours from another high-heat stretch of the schedule, and the front office has a decision staring it down. Before we dig in, help the channel by smashing subscribe and turning on the bell. More than half of you watching aren't subbed, and you're still getting day one breakdowns for free. Lock in and let's go. The report spine is simple and uncomfortable. Los Angeles can win a ton of nights with their current identity, but the margin shrinks in fourth quarters when the game compresses and the whistle tightens. The red flag isn't a mystery late clock shot creation in non-liberal minutes, has to be more repeatable, and the staff knows it. You don't fix that with a motivational speech. You fix it by adding a 3-level scorer who is comfortable taking 5 straight possessions and turning 2 of them into free throws and 1 into a pull-up dagger. That archetype has a name on this trade board, and I'll get there. But you need the why first or the who won't matter. On court, this is the whole. In April and May, defenses stop giving you air. They top-lock shooters, sit on the nail, tag early, and switch late. When that happens, you must win with body position, pace changes, and a jumper that punishes under or drop coverage, no fluff, no saving throws. The Lakers' spine still runs through LeBron manipulating help and Anthony Davis, flattening schemes as a vertical and short roll threat. Austin Reeves bends second sides, and Rui Hachimura stands up big defenders with that strong base in the corners. The question is the same one that's been on the board since media day. Who is the other adult scorer who turns a dead possession into points without breaking the offense? That's the missing line item. Let's build the role cleanly so the solution makes sense. Job 1. Attack a tilted shell on the catch, no extra dribbles. No killing pace, straight rip and go. Job 2. Force a defense to choose by living on the pull-up at the break. If the big sits and drop, that's a rhythm 3, not a crisis. Job 3. Beat a switch with a controlled 2-dribble mid-range when the rim is crowded and the arc is guarded. Job 4. Finish enough at the cup to pull the low man a step early and open the skip to the slot. Done right, you don't replace anybody's usage, you protect it. LeBron rests and the offense stays above water. AD's fourth quarter becomes more rolls and seals, fewer back-down bailouts. Reeves shifts back to his best self. Connector against bent defenses, not the designated bender on every trip. Now I'll say the name we've all been circling, Zach Lavine. 2-time All-Star, high 30s three-point shooter at volume. Pull-up gravity that punishes drop, enough rim pressure to make the low man respect the drive, and a clean catch-and-shoot profile that scales next to stars. The tape says this clearly. You don't have to make Lavine your heliocentric engine. You make him your segment winner. Give him 5 trips, he can win you 2. Give him the second side. He can turn a mess into a decent look. Ask him to be decisive catch and go. Pull when the big is down. Hit the pocket when the nail shows. And you unlock the version that actually elevates a contender. Let me show you the fit before we talk money. Picture empty corner pick and roll on the right side. Lavine handling, AD screening, everyone else space weak side. If the big plays at the level, Lavine hits the short roll, and AD plays 4-on-3-1 dribble, lob, or spray. If the big drops, that's Lavine's walk-in pull-up. If the low man tags early, the slot skip is a rhythm catch-and-shoot for Reeves. Now flip it. Spain action with Lavine as handler, Reeves back screening the big's man before popping. There is no right answer for a defense pull-up, pocket pass, or backside 3. Third look. Horns flare LeBron at one elbow. At D at the other, Lavine comes off the flare into space. Read the stunt. Rise if late. rip middle if hips open, or hit a D in the pocket if the big steps up. Late game goes zipper entry into a quick handback with LeBron, 2 dribbles, rise, net. These are grown-up shots that swing Game 4 when a series is tied. The silent winner is spacing, and spacing is a living thing. Lavine's pull-up gravity means the weak side tagger can't cheat 2 passes away. Suddenly Reeves' delay actions and shake relocations breathe. Rui's corner looks awry with just a touch more daylight. As post seals meet 1 fewer body. Even the early offense rhythm changes. Lavine fills the wing and threatens the drag screen pull-up before the shell sets. Forcing a coverage call at 20 on the clock dot. Now the sober part. The part that turns rumor into an actual decision. The second apron rulebook. This isn't 2019. You don't Lego 3 small deals into a big salary and figure it out later. Second apron teams don't take back more money than they send. Can't rely on old school abrogation tricks. And have fewer exception tools to smooth edges. Translation: if you chase Lavine, you need a clean matching slot or a third team partner to supply one. Draft capital is the hammer and it has to be real. One truly live first rounder in a year that matters can outweigh 2 cotton candy picks with protections that never convey. Swaps only have bite if they land in seasons with variance. Otherwise, they're headlining. Price discipline is the whole ball game. The overpay is obvious. Multiple unprotected first plus rotation youth. That's how you mortgage identity and optionality. The discipline offer is equally obvious. 1 firm first in a live year, 1 swap where the math can actually swing matching salary that keeps the top 8 intact, and a couple of seconds to clean the edges. If the other side wants more, you walk because optionality is how you survive the long postseason and how you pounce when the next right star becomes available. Defense has to be told straight. Lavine isn't your point of attack fixer. You accept that and scheme around it. With Jared Vanderbilt or another long wing on the floor, you can absorb primary matchups and let Lavine guard size he can handle. Ice side pick and rolls to funnel toward a D's rim protection. Switch selectively rather than reflexively so you're not feeding bad matchups. Gang rebound with guards so single possession defense stays single possession. The bar. Compete on your yard, finish plays, accept the plan. When the offense hums and everyone does their job on the glass, the net rating handles the rest. Health risk is a line on the board, not a surprise. Lavine's game lives on violent stop-start footwork. That loads his lower body and demands sports science rigor, minutes cadence, medical maintenance, and role clarity. You reduce the ISO marathons, increase the decisive touches, and stack 2 and 3-minute bursts where he's the primary while LeBron sits, then return him to second side work next to the starters. That's how you protect efficiency and legs at the same time. Rotation truth with no sugar. A likely closing 5 in many matchups. LeBron, Lavine, Reeves, AD, and Rui or Vanderbilt, depending on whether you need size to rebound or length to switch. Against switch-heavy teams, Vando lets you flatten actions up top while the trio of creators handle the rest. Against big front courts, Rui keeps the glass honest and forces a 4 to guard in space. What changes for the stars? For LeBron, cleaner second sides, fewer pre-stunts, more chances to quarterback at the nail. For a D, more rolls and deep seals, fewer forced turnarounds. For Reeves, more drives in the bench shells instead of creating bend every trip. For role players, better looks with shot clocks above 8 instead of below 5. Let me bring this back to the major report energy that opened the show and slow it down so we can feel every layer of what it's really saying. The note wasn't hype. It was a sober read on where the Lakers' ceiling can stall if late-game possessions keep looking the same. Empty side, stare down, high pick, switch, everyone watches, tough shot. That pattern works on Tuesdays in January. It gets crowded in May when elite defenses top-lock the slot, sit a big at the nail, and send a second defender early from the strong side corner. The report linked that exact problem to one solution, Lavine, because his skill cluster catch-and-go pace. Pull up from 3, mid-range control, enough rim pressure to pull the low man. Matches the possessions that decide series, the third and medium of basketball. Those 12 to 18 half-court trips in the last 8 minutes when the building is loud. Legs are heavy, whistles are stingy, and weak side help is already leaning. That's the precise gap the front office is weighing. Keep trusting internal growth to diversify those trips. Or add a specialist built to win them now. Timeline matters. And it matters more than usual under the newer rules. Make this move during the season, and you don't just add a name, you buy 40 to 50 games of reps to hardwire chemistry. That's ghost screens with LeBron, where the timing becomes instinct, not thought. That's learning a D's handoff cadence when he actually wants the rescreen versus the slip. That's micro reads with Reeves on shake lifts, so the kick is out on the catch, not a beat late. It's also living through travel, back-to-backs, and end-of-clock drills together, so the shot menu in crunch time is muscle memory, not a huddle wish list. The All-Star break gives you a mini camp. 2 practice days here, a shoot-around there, those add up. Wait for July, and yes, you invite more bidders and maybe different cap mechanics. But you also punt the install time that turns almost into automatic by May. There is no moral high ground here, only price versus payoff. If the ask is discipline now, you act and let the calendar do part of the work. If the ask is inflated, you win with identity, stack standings equity, and keep powder dry for a better window. One more nuance. In-season acclimation is real. You plan for a ramp conditioning checks, terminology tests, role clarity meetings, so the first 5 to 7 games don't spike turnovers. July trades buy you a full camp. February trades buy you live reps. Pick the benefit you value more at the number on the table. Culture check is the last filter, and it's not negotiable. The Lakers standard is adults-only basketball. Run what's called at playoff speed. Communicate early, not at the collision, and finish the possession with a body and 2 hands. That's film in the morning, touch rules in the walkthrough, catch and go on the second side, no jab fest, and precise spacing. Slot at 45, not 30. Lavine's best ball has always lived inside that kind of scaffolding clean triggers, simple reads, and decisive outcomes. Put him in a room where stars set tone, role players own lanes, and the performance staff manages minutes like an asset. And you get the optimized version. Quicker decisions, higher true shot efficiency, fresher legs on defense, and clearer accountability on the glass. He doesn't need promises. He needs a lane. With LeBron quarterbacking huddles, vets policing habits, and the scheme doing the heavy lifting, the fit becomes about discipline more than reinvention. And on defense, the expectation is plain English. Guard your yard, execute the ice or the switch call, tag on the glass, and communicate the peel switch. That's how acceptable turns into good enough, which is all you need when the offense is leveraged correctly. Now, because this is a fan report rooted in craft and not vibes, let's draw the hard line on value, the way you would if your job depended on it. Yes, I'm in at one firm first, one swap in a year that can actually bite, and matching salary that doesn't rip a hole in the top 8. That means a pick without confetti protections, a swap placed in a season with real variance, not window dressing, and outgoing deals that preserve shooting, defense, and ball handling balance. No, I'm not in if it creeps in the multiple unprotected first plus a core young piece. That's chasing a headline instead of building a banner. And in a second apron world, you pay twice for that mistake. Once in assets and again in optionality when the next right fit becomes available. Remember, leverage lives and identity. The Lakers can hang up the phone and still be a nightmare in May because LeBron's control adds gravity and Reeves' connective tissue already travel. You only spend that leverage when the payoff is obvious in the exact sequences that end series. Lavine qualifies if the number is right, and only if the pick and swap leave future doors open, you place the assets smartly. You avoid handcuff years. You don't cannibalize depth that makes the move worth making. Before I close, set your alerts and hit subscribe. Because when this shift from whispers to framework, I'll break the entire thing into parts you can judge. Cap and cash flow, how the yearly charges really land. Pick language, protections. Convert downs, convey years. Medical timing, ramp plan. Back-to-backs, target minutes bands. And the day one play menu to fold them in without dropping a single win. This channel runs on your voice as much as my board. So drop your package below with real detail. One first, tell me which year and why. One swap, tell me where it actually bites. Matching money that keeps the top 8 intact, say which roles you're protecting. Or pass and pivot those assets to a point of attack defender or a stretch 5 at the deadline. Be specific. The best shows here start in that thread because you force the trade-offs into the light. Final verdict, crisp and professional. With the context turned all the way up, Zach Lavine to the Lakers is a leverage move, not a savior story. At a disciplined price, it raises the floor of late-game offense, widens the shot menu in the middle 8 minutes, and lifts the playoff ceiling without touching the identity that already wins. At an undisciplined price, it mortgaged the optionality that makes Los Angeles dangerous, the ability to solve a different problem later without tearing at the core. The report confirmed the red flag. The question isn't can you? It should you at this number. In this month? Either way, the standard in LA doesn't move. Win the minutes that decide seasons. And do it with clarity, discipline, and a plan that survives the fourth quarter.